Hey, what's up everyone? One of the fun things about collecting Funko Pops is speculating about which ones may go up in price, which ones are going to be very desirable, and maybe possible grails in the future. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't like the value side of collecting, but the reality is that it is a very important part of any type of figure collecting. If there wasn't a second market, nothing would be valuable. And if nothing's valuable, then nothing is rare, nothing is hard to get, there's no grail pieces, there's no desire to keep things, pass them down through generations. There just isn't a hobby without the second market. So if you're going to be a collector of Funko Pops, it's something to think about, something to keep your eye on. And over the years of collecting Funko Pops, I've noticed that it's not always the stickered ones that become the most valuable or the only ones, because those become valuable as well. And for example, this Coraline with pajamas from the Fall Convention 2018, so 3 years old. This one right now is going for around $100. If you try to buy her on the second market, be prepared to spend about $100, right? It's pretty cool. You know, of course, stickered ones. The actual official con sticker one, I think, goes for like an extra 30 bucks or so. So, you know, getting right up there in the grail status, right? But so is her common. And to be honest, I find her common a lot cooler looking. And of course, there's the power of the sticker. People think that because it has a sticker, it's more valuable, or sometimes even more rare. But this one right here is going for around $80 to $90. So they came out at the same time, but this one's definitely keeping pace with this one. It might actually overcome it eventually because, yeah, it's just cooler. Plus it comes with the cat. So commons can become just as valuable as stickered exclusives. That's delicious. Alright, so of course I don't want to give you recommendations of Funko Pops that are already valuable because I'm a cheap ass, alright? And I like to buy things low. But I do have my reasons why I think that these ones in particular are going to go up in value. And the first one is Han Solo in Carbonite. When I first started collecting Funko Pops, Star Wars Pops were pretty popular. I think more popular than they are now because they were still going through like a lot of the main characters. Right now, they've made all the more popular characters. So it's just, in the actual Funko collecting world, it's not as popular as it once was. And everybody wanted Han Solo in Carbonite. It was one of the fun things to talk about because you go, you know, how are they going to do a bobblehead? Because it has to be a bobblehead. They figured it out. You know, it's the slab and the bobble comes this way. So it is a bobblehead. But this one, you know, they finally released it. It's actually pretty new, 2020, but it's already getting vaulted. And I think anybody that has a Star Wars collection would want this one. It's a very memorable scene from the best Star Wars movie. So definitely recommend picking up Han Solo in Carbonite. There are two versions of this. There's one that has this logo up here, and it doesn't have anything here. And there's this one with Star Wars up here and the logo down here. They're about the same. Each one right now, if you try to go buy it on the second market, is around $14 to $16. This one may be $1 or $2 less. But this is kind of a matter of preference. I haven't seen any evidence of one being more rare than the other. And I'm not exactly sure why they have different printing. It just is that way. If one of you guys know, let me know. But from what I've seen, it doesn't really affect the value. And I personally prefer the Star Wars logo up here. This little square logo doesn't really kind of fit here. It actually looks kind of small. So I prefer the Star Wars logo with the 40th logo down here. But yeah, pretty cool pop. Recently vaulted, can still be had for around 14 to 15. As time goes by, I think this one will climb up in value because it's so unique and memorable to the movies. Delfano from Pan's Labyrinth, or Labyrinth Delfano, is also from 2018, and I'm actually surprised this one hasn't gone up in value just like that Coraline one has, because I feel like this is a cult movie, just like Coraline is. I think this has a cult following and will always have a cult following, so as new pop collectors come in, I believe this would be one they would want to pick up. Now, I think the reason it hasn't gone up in value is because it was only just recently vaulted. So there could be a good amount of these out there. I never saw tons of them in store. I did, but I didn't see 50 at a time in stores. It does have, like I said, a cult following, so it's kind of a niche. Not everybody's going to want this, but I think fans of these type of movies will want this one. And it's actually pretty cool. Another thing to consider is not just popularity or rarity, is design. Does the pop look cool? And let me take this one out of the package so we can take a closer look at it. So if you've seen the movie, you can tell that this pop is very accurate. And it just looks cool. Look at those horns. It's got this nice wash of color to make it look kind of decrepit, like the Delfano looks. The body details are quite nice. And it just looks cool. This is definitely one that looks better out of the package. Another thing to consider, a lot of people might have taken this one out of their packages, thrown the boxes away. Might want to come back and get one that's mint because they might notice the value is going up. But pretty cool overall. I've never actually seen if this one stands. It does. This isn't exactly even right here, but he does stand. Just overall, a pop that I feel has a cult niche market. He's vaulted now. He looks very cool. He's well designed, and he can still be had for relatively cheap, $10 to $14 if you do a little shopping around. Some places might even still have them in stock retail. But now that he's vaulted, expect this one to slowly start climbing in price. It already has the past couple of months. For the longest time, he was at $8, $9, $10. Now he's closer to $14, $15. So shop around. Get this guy before he starts hitting $20, $30, and it starts to hurt a little bit to get him. And lastly, I'm going to recommend getting Jaws from the 007 line and also the Golden Girl. Now, both of these are pretty unique, right? Funny character, not the best design in the world, but they got his Jaws stainless steel teeth in there really well. If you've ever seen this movie, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Like, The Spy Who Loved Me is just hilarious. And I don't know if it's meant to be funny or not, but it was the first James Bond movie I saw as a kid, and I thought it was a straight up comedy. And my dad was just looking at me like, why do you keep laughing? I'm like, dude, because there's a guy biting a car. Like, he's literally biting a car apart. It's so silly. But this guy is climbing in price. He's vaulted now. He can be had for around 15 to 16, so nothing crazy, but he's recently been spiking up. And so has the Golden Girl. If you shop around, you can still get her for about $10, $12, $13 if you're lucky. But who knows about the box condition? You always want to get pops in the most mint boxes you can if you care about value, right? Because unlike almost any other hobby, mint condition is very important in every hobby. But with pop collectors especially, any little thing. Let's see if we can find any flaws on this. Any little thing is bad. Like, see that little line right there? That's pretty much nothing. But you never know. You never know in like 5 years from now if pops keep getting very, very popular and, start getting graded and stuff like that. Something like this might keep this pop at like a 9.9, right? That's very small. Of course, I'm being extremely nitpicky, but the point I'm trying to make is the more mint the box, the more expensive the pop will be when it goes up in value. So keep that in mind when you're shopping around and you see someone selling it for $7. Make sure you take a look at pictures because it might be totally damaged, right? So I recommend getting these two. They're still in the low teens, and they're unique characters from James Bond movies, right? I don't ever see Funko making another Jaws. I just really don't. And I don't see Funko making another Golden Girl because this one's actually kind of morbid as well. So in Goldfinger, there's a scene where Bond discovers a girl in his bed and she's dead. And the way they killed her was painting her gold. So I guess her pores couldn't breathe or something. I don't think it's scientifically accurate, but the point is, this is a dead girl. That's why her eyes are like that. So it's morbid, it's dark. It's also kind of cool looking. And I think anybody that has a James Bond collection would want this one just because it's very, very memorable. From one of the older Sean Connery movies. So I don't think Funko is ever going to make this figure again. I highly, highly doubt it. Like, why would they? So, hard to get now because they're vaulted and they're still pretty low. And there's a new James Bond movie coming out as well that might reinvigorate, the passion that people have for James Bond movies. Also, the people that like James Bond movies tend to be like a little bit of an older crowd. The older crowd has money. If they start getting into pops, they might want these. And I think in a James Bond collection, these two are must-haves. All right, guys, so go forth and collect.